Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel Future Force. Please subscribe and like my videos. It really helps to grow this channel and bring you more deep, researched, and clear analysis of world-shaping events. Today, we are going to talk about something that has once again shaken the geopolitical landscape and military balance in the region. The Crimean Bridge bombed for the third time. But this one is different, and we will review the event in detail as if we are looking at every single layer, from the outside appearance to the inside structure, from its performance under pressure to the safety features meant to defend it, and ultimately the unique aspects that make this strike different from the previous ones. Stick with me to the end, because this is not just a repeat of history, it is a turning point. When we start with the exterior, the Crimean Bridge is not just a piece of concrete and steel connecting the Russian mainland with Crimea. It is a giant symbol. Its exterior value has always been more than the practical role of moving vehicles, trains, supplies, and fuel. It is a visible sign of Russian control over Crimea, a demonstration of permanence, and a showcase that says, Crimea is tied to Russia not only politically but physically. When the bridge stands tall on the waters of the Kerch Strait, it tells everyone that Moscow's project of binding Crimea into its federation is not temporary. But every time, the exterior has been scarred, first in October 2022, then in July 2023, and now for the third time in September 2025, the image is cracked. Externally, this latest bombing again destroyed parts of the roadway, scorched the surface, and once again displayed to the world that no matter how strong Russia tries to project the exterior look of invulnerability, the surface can be penetrated. From outside appearances alone, this attack has lowered the prestige of Russian infrastructure safety and showcased Ukrainian persistence. Now let us move into the interior, and this is where the real depth of the story lies. Inside the design of the Crimean Bridge, there are multiple layers of meaning. Internally, the bridge is one of the most protected pieces of infrastructure in the region. After previous attacks, Russia invested heavily in air defense systems, electronic warfare, underwater monitoring, and patrols to secure the bridge. They added layers of checkpoints, surveillance drones, and barriers. Yet even with this interior architecture of defense, Ukraine managed to strike again. The question then is, how did the attackers manage to penetrate these internal defenses? According to reports, the methods this time may have been more sophisticated, possibly involving new underwater drones, long-range precision strikes, or even coordinated sabotage. The interior story here is about adaptation. Ukraine did not just repeat the same tactic. They studied the interior structure of Russian defense and found the gaps. That is why this third bombing feels different. It shows that Ukraine is not only repeating efforts, but innovating internally. The interior perspective also reflects the political and psychological core. For Russia, the bridge is an artery of supply for Crimea, feeding the military bases, troops, and civilian economy of the peninsula. Inside the Kremlin's planning, the bridge is non-negotiable. Without it, supply lines become weaker, slower, and more dependent on vulnerable ferries across the strait or risky routes through occupied southern Ukraine. Inside Ukraine's strategic thinking, the bridge is the beating heart of Russian presence. To strike it is not just about breaking concrete, it is about breaking the sense of permanence and cutting into the lifeline of the occupying forces. That is why the interior meaning of this attack is so powerful. It digs deeper into the psychology of war. It demonstrates that Russia's confidence in its most critical infrastructure is misplaced, and Ukraine can still hit where it matters most. Moving to performance, this is where we measure how both sides respond under pressure. The performance of Russia's defense systems has been called into question. If the bridge is one of the most heavily defended structures in the region, then its inability to withstand repeated strikes reveals underperformance. Each time, Russia has promised stronger defenses, more vigilance, and new measures. But each time, performance falters when Ukraine pushes harder. On the Ukrainian side, performance has been growing. From the first daring truck bomb in 2022 to the maritime drone strikes later, to now a third and more advanced method, their performance demonstrates resilience, learning, and escalating capability. Performance also reflects international support. Behind Ukraine's ability to perform are the supplies, technologies, and intelligence provided by Western allies. Every successful strike is not only Ukrainian innovation, but also a test of NATO-backed equipment and strategies. This time, the performance has proven that Ukraine's capability is not declining but sharpening, even after years of war fatigue. When we consider safety features, it becomes ironic. The bridge was supposed to have the strongest safety features in the region. Russia invested in air defense systems like the Pantsir and S-400, naval patrols, electronic jamming against drones, and counter-sabotage units. The safety features also included physical barriers like floating booms, checkpoints, and constant monitoring. Yet, each of these features, no matter how expensive and layered, failed to prevent this third attack. The supposed safety system is proving to be more symbolic than practical. Safety features also apply to civilians. Each time the bridge is attacked, civilians traveling on it are put at risk. Russia tries to use the bridge as both a military supply line and a civilian highway, which mixes civilian vulnerability with military target value. This blending raises questions under international law, but in terms of real-world safety, it makes the bridge a death trap. Ukraine argues that the bridge is a legal military target because it directly supplies the Russian war effort. But from the civilian perspective, safety is shattered each time explosions erupt on what should be a secure route. Now let us examine the unique selling points of this third bombing. Why is this one different? First, it highlights evolution in methods. Ukraine is no longer relying on the same tactics. It is showing new, adaptive, and innovative means of striking. That in itself is a unique selling point because it signals technological progression. Second, the timing is different. Earlier strikes happened at moments of major offensives or symbolic dates. This time, the strike comes in the middle of a long, grinding war when both sides are preparing for the next phase. It is a reminder to the world that Ukraine can still shock Russia at unexpected moments. Third, the psychological effect is multiplied. After two previous strikes, many assumed Russia would learn and harden the bridge completely. The fact that it happened again breaks the myth of invulnerability and makes Russian citizens question whether their leadership can protect even its most important landmarks. That erosion of confidence is a unique selling point that no missile strike on a random depot could achieve. This attack is not just military, it is political theater. Talking about price, the cost of this attack is high for both sides. For Russia, the financial cost of repairing the bridge again is enormous. Each repair has already drained billions of rubles, not to mention the logistical disruptions every time it goes offline. The economic cost spreads to Crimea itself, where goods, fuel, and resources become more expensive and harder to deliver. For Ukraine, the price is in resources spent to design and execute such a complex strike. But strategically, the price for Ukraine is worth it because the return is higher. Disruption of Russian supply chains and morale. The international price also matters. Each strike on the bridge deepens the divide between Russia and the West, hardens sanctions, and fuels debates in NATO capitals about providing more advanced weapons. The human price cannot be ignored either. Whenever such attacks happen, both military and civilian lives may be lost or endangered. Yet in war, price is always weighed against gain, and in this case, the symbolic and strategic gain is immense for Ukraine compared to the financial and reputational loss for Russia. In conclusion, the third bombing of the Crimean Bridge is not just another repeat of the same event. It is a turning point. From the exterior look of a scarred symbol to the interior meaning of a psychological and logistical wound, to the performance metrics that expose Russian weakness and Ukrainian adaptation, to the safety features that continue to fail, and finally to the unique selling points that make this strike resonate differently, the story is layered. The price is heavy, but the conclusion is clear. Ukraine has shown that no matter how fortified, how symbolic, or how central an object may be, it can still be targeted, damaged, and humiliated. For Russia, the challenge is not just rebuilding a bridge, but rebuilding confidence. For Ukraine, it is about keeping momentum alive, showing innovation, and proving to its people and allies that persistence pays off. The world will watch not just the rebuilding of the bridge, but the rebuilding of narratives, and that is why this third bombing is different. It is not just about breaking steel, but about breaking myths.